We've also got Hearthstone game designer Dean Ayala, aka Ixar, hanging out with us, all the way from across the street. Dean, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk about dragon cards and dragon-related things.
Pytacie, dlaczego Facebook nam tyle płaci? Widzicie, ja potrafię zrobić stream bez echa, a wielka korporacja warta miliony dolarów czy tam miliardy ma z tym problemy. Bo zawsze jak jest ten reveal kart i stream z tego, to jest jakiś bullshit. I widzicie, to za skillsy.
So I'd love to kick it off to Crip and Dean just to kind of talk about some of the mechanics and things that we've already announced for Descent of Dragons. Dean, Crip, I know the community is super hyped for this expansion. People keep saying the power level looks really freaking cool. Can you recap some of the stuff that we've already announced?
Dragons. We got lots of dragons. We have Galakron.
Hero
cards. All the evil classes of this past year, they're getting Galakron hero cards, and each one is different. Each one comes with a different battle cry effect, a different hero power. You trigger this hero power as well as improve the hero card when played by invoking Galakron. So it's quite a bit of stuff, and we haven't seen the Shaman one yet. So once we see that one, we can put all the invoke cards and Shaman kind of into context and how powerful they might be. We get side quests. Classes that don't get Galakron get quests that are not quite as powerful as the full-on quests of the previous years of Hearthstone. But the side quests do have their own flavor.
Żeby nie odstawać, to może też tak robię.
I think one of my favorite things about this set is Galakron. Galakron's one of the main things. The things I like about it a lot is it plays
To już ukryty przekaz, że będzie dużo nowych kart z umiejętnościowego. A w sumie może tak być.
Aggressive deck. I think the side quests are also really interesting too, just to kind of play on one of the they still give you a pretty cool reward. Oh, we have these things called like mini cycles that we like to call internally, which are like the Dragon Explorers, where you can discover some dragons.
Tak ze 4 głosy słyszę na oko, więc może lepiej tak będzie.
Very thematically appropriate for the dragon set.
No.
There are some non-dragon cards as well.
Tak wiecie, że z tym zgadzam, ale czy może ktoś to naprawi, bo trochę nie fajnie się tego słucha?
Side quests for a lot of like the good guy classes. I mean, there's a bunch of non-dragon related stuff, and I think our intention with every expansion is not just kind of promote exactly what's going on in that expansion, but also look back to the past and go back to some old
I widzicie, Facebook nam płaci, bo my umiemy to zrobić bez fuck-upów, nie? Tyle.
Previous expansions. So you're going to be utilizing a lot of the cards from this set and a lot of the cards from old sets, and hopefully there's a bunch of new archetypes and new things going on.
Sweet. Thanks for the recap, gentlemen. Cool. So one other quick thing I did want to detail for you all that I think
Jak ten nawija, to jest najlepsze.
So tomorrow morning, actually,
Bo on gada jeszcze szybciej od nich i w związku z czym to echo jest takie jeszcze bardziej bufnięte. Czy nikt im nie pisze, że mają problemy na czacie? Sprawdźmy. Nie, ogólnie. Chyba nikt nie zauważył. A właśnie! Bo to jest złoty brat, chłopie! Potrójny okrzyk bojowy! Dziękuję za gwiazdki.
Karol Szy wysłał 100 gwiazdek. Ślicznie dziękuję. Buźka mrugająca okiem. There is side quest, there is side quest i like dragons echo, no cześć.
Elo mordo.
Last thing, before we get into the gameplay, we also have on Friday our pre-release fireside gathering. What these are is that your buddies can get together at home, set up your own fireside gathering, open up the
fireside gathering,
purchase from Descent of Dragons, build some decks, meme on each other, hopefully be the Battlegrounds Arena Legend Ranked Master, like Crip here, and have some fun, and then prepare for the Dragons launch on the 10th. So I know Crip usually do this with hot form.
Yeah, well, I will probably...
Przestań z tym echem. Ale próbuję się dostosować do ich poziomu, no też poradzę, chłopie.
You should follow Crip and you should follow Crip.
You should. You should.
Yeah. So we are now going to jump into gameplay. We've got tech issues. Oh, tech issues. Completely. We're done.
O! O kur... Chyba zauważyli, że mają problem. Dobra, to ja też wyłączę swoje. Widzicie, chłopaki? Podstawową rzeczą jest to, że streamerzy, abstrahując od popularności i zasięgów i tym podobnych rzeczy, ale my też mamy, jakby na to nie patrzeć, dużo umiejętności, za które wiele firm potrafi zapłacić naprawdę duże pieniądze, nie? Wiecie, ile kosztuje zrobienie takiej prostej z perspektywy streamera realizacji na różnego rodzaju eventach? Na tym się zarabia naprawdę dobrą kasę, nie? Ceny wam nie podam dokładnie, bo nie znam, ale naprawdę to są spore pieniądze. I wiesz, jak ja na przykład kminię, jak firma może płacić za coś, co ja jestem w stanie zrobić kamerką za 300 zł, mikrofonem za 400 zł i komputerem z Biedronki, grube dziesiątki tysięcy, to tak wiesz. Po ilu minutach? No opóźnienie mają, no to tam wiesz, to od razu pewnie zauważyli, tylko opóźnienie było. No i tak to już jest, tak to już, moi drodzy, w życiu bywa. To tak, podobają wam się karty? Dużo echo widziałem. New keyword, echo. Każda baterka 4 times. Pa 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 pa. Pa para pa 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 para pa pa.
Karolszy wysłał 100 gwiazdek, ślicznie dziękuję, buźka mrugająca okiem, minęło już lepsze już to niż tamte echo, buźka mrugająca okiem, buźka mrugająca okiem.
Thank you very much, my friend. W sumie nic nie usłyszałem. Wyciąwszy, przepraszam. Minęło już lepsze już to niż tamte echo. No to wiadomo, stary. To wiadomo, ziomeczku. Mój kochany. Matko, chłopy, no co wy naprawdę nie umiecie mikrofonów? Kogo oni tam zatrudniają? Najlepsze jest to, bo ja wiem, jak ogólnie robi się takie transmisje, nie? I te transmisje są robione na sprzęcie, które jest ponad to, bo to jest sprzęt do zrobienia czegoś takiego, no powiedzmy, że na poziomie telewizyjnym. Coś w tym stylu. I oni mają tam takie rzeczy, które do Twitcha nie są potrzebne, absolutnie, ale mimo wszystko tego używają, bo używają tego na co dzień. Jaja se robicie.
Here and there. We're aware of it, so we're looking into it. Hopefully it is fixed, but apologies about that. But as we were saying,
O, poczwórne przeprosiny.
the gameplay, right? People have been waiting. We got 32 brand new cards for Descent of Dragons to unveil right now. So Chalky, we're gonna wait for you to go ahead and friendly challenge us. We got our first matchup. We got Dragon Druid versus Galakron Rogue. It's gonna be spicy.
Czy były już nowe karty? Nie, jeszcze nie.
So we'll wait and see if Chalky can get the one up on me.
Żeby nie było, bo jeżeli ktoś myśli, że ja mam na przykład odpalone 4 streamy i to taka beczunia, nie, to jest jeden. Zobaczcie. Widzicie? Jest echo? Znaczy nie ma? O! Ile?
Loses patience for the next
We need optimism here. I believe in you. I believe in you.
Dla wszystkich, którzy kupią prepurs, będzie podczterokrotniony, bo dzisiaj wszystko razy 4, nie? Pamiętajcie, w 2012 Jay Wilson, jak robił Diablo 3, to on double it, a w 2019 Blizzard
very powerful wild growth, so I would keep that.
Okay.
Outside of that, I'll leave it up to you.
We have the Cobalt.
Quattro it. Jak jest Ile? Double it? 4 times?
What can we expect for Druid from that?
I mean, there's a bunch more of them. I think Claw is the one it's been seen in some Druid decks in the past. Like getting a couple claws in your hand is something that you'd be pretty happy with.
Dragon, it's a ramping a 4.
Yeah.
Let's give it a try.
Okay.
Let's give it a try.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, we're just playing all new cards.
Draw if you are holding matkę jest to mocno.
There's another spell. We're about to see exactly what one cost.
Quadrapple. Quadrapple. Okay.
Especially in
O.
Druid deck, like if you're going to be playing a whole
5-4 za 4 can be targeted?
and you're going to have cards like
Takie kurde, nie wiem. Teoretycznie muszę przyznać, że mi się to podoba, ale Fairy Dragon nigdy nie grał, w związku z czym nie podejrzewam, żeby to było jakieś wysoce grywalne.
So we're gonna do Breath of Dreams. Draw a card. If you're holding a dragon, gain an empty mana crystal.
we were holding mini dragons.
You really need to be holding dragons, but it's interesting with draw cards. So if you're actually in top deck mode and you really need an actual card in your hand, it actually achieves the purpose. You're going to get an actual card in your hand.
It helps a lot, and then also I think we might have also got.
Then Ayala.
Both players draw a card. If it's a dragon, summon it.
Yes.
People really
Trochę niebezpieczne.
If your deck is jam-packed with dragons, and this is something that you maybe put in it, at the very least, you know, it's 6 mana, 5/5 draw.
A to jest niegrywalne, bo jeżeli ty nie dobierzesz smoka, przeciwnik dobierze, to przegrałeś.
If your deck is jam-packed with dragons,
Well, you also get the effect. I'm sure a lot of dragons they are meant to be played and not
Nie
summoned.
było takiej karty podobnej z takim białym koniem 5-4, która nie mogła być targetowana przez zaklęcie Hero Power. Nie kojarzę.
Yeah.
Alright.
Nie kojarzę,
I think we
brawo.
should just do this. I mean, reduce the cost of dragons in your deck by 2. I think we want to do that as fast as possible. We got Frizz here.
Yeah, we're against a rogue who has like a ton of removal
Ty,
options,
działa!
like backstab and eviscerate and stuff like that. So Feywing's usually pretty good in this
O kurde,
circumstance, but
mój mózg nie
because we have so
wybucha.
many dragons in our hand, I think Frizz is probably still the right call.
There we go. Thinking that the rogue playing a Galakron deck, it's probably going to have a lot of lack. Rogue Galakron power is to get a lackey, is it not?
Yes, so I think like a card like Togwaggle, for example, is probably going to be in the rogue deck, because if you're invoking a bunch of times, then you're probably going to be getting a bunch of lackeys.
And a card like Spirit of the Shark.
Yes.
Draw a
Oh,
card.
here's a pretty fair one. Big old whelp. Normally cost 5, but we got a discount, so it's a 3 cost 5/5 draw card.
It's probably Spellkin, even though I don't know. Actually, Whelp is the bigger card, obviously, and we don't necessarily need a ton of resources. The more mana efficient thing to do is probably to play Spellkin, but
I think we should play a Spellkin.
All right.
I'm thinking that because we really just need to kill this shark next turn, and being a 3/5 or a 5/5, it's about the same.
yeah. And there's the Claw, as we were talking about earlier, and Worthy Expedition is actually one of the cards that gets played a lot in Druid, mostly as a result of being part of the quest deck.
Now, some classes are not going to have that many one-drop spells, so it being a neutral card, the Cobalt Spellkin, you're probably going to be able to get a lot of specific cards consistently.
Yeah, there's a lot of one-cost spells. For most classes, like it's still pretty varied. Like I think when people are talking about Spellkin first, they're mostly talking about it in the context of Mage and being able to play stuff like Mana Cyclone and generating, you know, a whole bunch of spells.
And you get to see the Galakron that he has. So he played Praise Galakron, give him 1 attack, and Invoke Galakron. A lot of these Galakron cards are not like particularly powerful on their own, but obviously if you're playing Galakron, there's a good chance you want to include all of them in your deck, I imagine.
Yes. I think the thing that we're going to want to do for sure is kill the Spirit of the Shark. And then
Yes.
Outside of that, it's probably Grapple Sniper.
Think so?
I think so. I think that we try to just do it.
All right, now, I haven't seen the cards we're about to reveal. What are the chances that we get a Rush card versus our opponent getting a Taunt Dragon? We need some odds here. Do the math. You're the dev.
Low. Very,
Let's do it.
Very low. Like the chances that our opponent gets a dragon is. This is the kind of thing.
We got a dragon.
Right.
We celebrate this.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually. Like you look
Dobry
at
smok.
and I think the first reaction is like, well, obviously Twilight's a lot better with the battle cry, but it's not really a terrible.
Ale Azur Drake miał spell damage, a to dużo zmienia.
Different dragon, if not that one.
Well, we do get to hit him for 4.
Yes. Yeah, he's most likely gonna dagger it.
All right. Yep, he's just invoking Galakron. Devoted Maniac. I think this is one of the first cards that was
To
revealed.
wydaje mi się być słabe.
4
Nie
for
wiem.
2/2 rush.
Ale wydaje mi
Not
się
very
tylko.
good stats for
Może.
that amount, but again, invoking Galakron for Rogue, you get lackeys, and those lackeys turn those small statted cards into fair statted cards sometimes.
Yeah, the 4-mana TC Rush is actually one of the cards that, you know, in playtesting filled out a lot of the Galakron decks. I think that you can expect to see that card in most Galakron decks, at least the ones that are really trying to get to the maximum power.
To jest dobre, panie.
Wow, Evasive Worm. Now this is a 6-cost card.
Yeah,
We played.
not 4 cost.
Now we've discounted all of the dragons in our deck by 2. I think at 4 cost it would be rather strong.
Yes, it would be too strong, I think.
I think we're gonna play this.
Yes, it's pretty similar to something like Argent Commander, but it has
To jest dobre.
stats and
To bardzo.
obviously, like, can't be targeted is a pretty big deal.
It's also a dragon.
Yes.
Dragon's
Most of the cards in this deck are going to be dragons for sure.
I'm thinking we just play stats right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have drawn a card first, but I was too eager to play the new cards.
That's good. I think we're in the right mindset if we're playing the new
And
cards.
if we hit the opponent for 4 with our dragon, we're just going to keep lowering his hit points as much as
A
possible.
rogue is not really that good at gaining a bunch of hit points.
No.
So
You do gain 5 off the Galakron, which you know he's playing.
we do, but if he's playing 7 mana gain 5, that's not really going to be enough.
All right, let's see what our next turns might include.
Cześć, Jarek.
Scale Rider, 3 cost, 3/3. If you're holding a dragon,
Scale
deal 2
Rider.
damage. So very similar to SI7. It's kind of like a neutral SI7 that's easier to pull off, but you have to be playing dragons.
Yeah, and a lot of, I mean,
There's a lot of you have to be playing dragons in the game right now.
yes.
Well, on the 10th.
I think holding a dragon it's not really too difficult historically to trigger. It's like you don't need a ton of dragons in order to trigger, like if you're holding a dragon cards, which is different than like Grapple Sniper, where you obviously want tons and tons and tons of dragons in your deck. But you can get by with, I think, you know, if you have 4 or 5, if you're holding a dragon trigger, you can get by really on having 6, 7 dragons in your deck, and that's just sort of fine. Because as soon as you draw first, like, if we draw our Twin Tyrant, for example, we can sit on that for most of the game and still trigger most of our cards.
So we can see that, is this the Galakron that just became? So, or is this the next stage? I think he's only invoked twice.
Yes. So I'm pretty sure he's only invoked twice. So
Yes.
he now has the access to the level 2 Galakron.
Which is draw 2 cards, they cost 0.
Yes.
Oh, draw 4 cards.
The third level Galakron.
The third level is the one we give you a claw.
Draw 4 cards. Did
He's
he
not
really,
there yet.
Did he play 4?
No, I thought he played 2.
Because I know he played Praise Galakron, but we
Grapple it.
Okay, we have to grapple.
Easy grapple. You also get to force the draw out of your opponent.
Another dragon.
So
not a dragon
you might
for our
mill him
opponent.
too.
Yeah, we might.
That's my favorite part of the game.
Yes, mill decks are not generally
Zgadzam się,
something that
milowanie
I think
spoko.
that we're like very excited about being the best decks in the game.
I'm
but
very excited.
Cześć, Gofer.
If it's something that you can play in a strategy.
Mam nadzieję, że dzisiaj delay nie będzie za duży, żebyś tam, wiesz, się nie denerwował.
Oh, what's this?
Strength in numbers, it's the side quest. I'm not actually sure if that one's been revealed yet or not. I think it has.
Spend 10 mana on minions, reward, summon a minion from your deck. Well, the minions in our deck are large dragons.
Yes.
So except for Twilight Drake, which we already got.
Yeah, I think like even at this point in the game, I think one of the
Ciekawią mnie
low mana
ciekawią mnie te
cards
side
that
questy.
are super good in the late game, but with strength
Za
in numbers,
inwokację dostajesz coś do
it's
ręki?
trigger late.
Nie, ale za inwokację u Rogue'a tak.
We play strength in numbers and Twin Tyrant. We're already like most of the way there.
Bo inwokacja...
The idea is always going to be you can't easily, of course you can with Innervate or something, that you can't easily play the quest and complete it on the very same turn. But a lot of the other quests you can, for example. I know the Mage quest, I believe is only 8 mana worth of spells, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so you can do that in the same turn if you want. Not really in the early game, but you can do it in the same turn later on.
Invoke działa tak, że używa Hero Power Galakronda, a Rogue ma Hero Power... Galakrondowy Rogue.
We played
Rogue'owy Galakron ma Hero Power takie, że daje ci sługusa do
good
ręki.
effects.
He's gonna try though. Keaton's a pretty good Hearthstone player, but I don't know if he's good enough to get out of the situation he's in right now.
Where do you see dragons in the metagame? Do you consider dragons kind of like a mid-range playstyle or deck? That's kind of how they appear to me, but I'm kind of curious.
It depends. I think specifically for Druid, it's both mid-range and control deck because like you can curve out giant, or you can curve out like pretty big dragons in the game on turn 8 and turn 9. But also if you're playing versus like a heavy control deck that's removing your first few dragons, you have cards like Ysera that are really good in terms of like resource generation for late game. So it can do both. It's just going to struggle versus the things that are like very, very aggressive oriented, especially if you're not having like Breath of Dreams on turn 2.
Do you think it's important that we show a missed lethal to Chalky here? I think it is. I think we're going to use Claw to remove a 1/1.
Czemu stare keywordy typu Inspirate czy Echo nie są używane w nowych dodatkach?
I think this is
Bo Blizzard nie chce...
unless it's fixed yet.
Nie chcę wprowadzać nowych keywordów, znaczy starych keywordów dla graczy, którzy ich nie zdają. W sensie, wiesz, była inspiracja ileś tam lat temu. Ludzie, którzy wtedy grali, wiedzą co to jest, ale ludzie, którzy teraz grają, nie wiedzą i żeby się im nie motało. Nie jest to super znaczy, jest to bezpieczne, natomiast nie do końca to popieram, bo to takie głaskanie ludzi po głowach za bardzo duże. Ale jest to zrozumiałe.
Oh wow, he got us.
That's how you remove the card that can't be targeted.
That's how you flick. Flick is actually a pretty cool card too. It was one of the ones that in playtesting we were going over. It's like, it's the power level something we get to.
Oh, we got gold. All right, for the folks at home, apologies about the technical issues. We got it figured out. We had a little bit of audio echo, as you could tell. So, apologies about that. You know what?
Ociupinkę, troszeczkę.
Manager, that Dragon Druid deck. Let's not hit the other ones just yet. Looks like I think we missed 2 cards, one of them in Druid and then one of them in Rogue. Let's see if you can spot the one that we missed.
What is the one that's not?
Yep.
Oh, is it this guy?
Wing Commander. Yep.
4 for a 2/5 has 2 attack for each dragon in your hand. I mean, that's a pretty well-statted card, but that's a lot of information you might be giving to your opponent.
Yeah, I think this is one of those cards where most of your dragons are going to be like fairly high-cost cards. So this is something that fills out some of like the earlier stages of the game where you can play it and still be fighting for board and have, you know, a bunch of like high-cost dragons in your hand. It mitigates the, you know, I drew Ysera and I drew Ysera and I drew Alexstrasza and I drew Twin Tyrant. It's like, okay, well, I'm at least getting a bonus for having all of these like really high cost things in my hand.
If you have 1 dragon, it's still a Yeti.
Yeah.
In my game mode, that's still pretty good.
Okay. I think people make those comparisons a lot, where it's like not a lot of people just put Shogun Yeti in their next thing. I remember those days fondly. Like I think a lot of people on stream probably.
Yeti made it to the World Championship.
Yeah.
Gotta respect
he did.
Yeti.
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
It was
a long time ago. There's a lot less sets back then. There's none.
Well, it's still pretty fair. Like Yeti's still pretty fair.
Yeah,
it fights for the board okay.
You're not really sad to play a 4-mana 4/5, especially if like you know that you're going to scale into late game and you're just looking for things to fight for board.
If you have 2 dragons, it's quite solid. 6/5 for 4.
Yeah.
If you have 3 dragons, it's fighting for mountain giants, right?
It's pretty good. The more dragons you have in your hand, obviously.
Yeah.
But the more dragons you have in your hand, the more that kind of infers that you kind of don't have much to play on probably turn 5, turn 6. Like there's more like 4 and 5, 6 cost dragons these days, but still most of them are pretty high cost.
Evasive Worm. Think we'll see a lot of this one?
I think especially in decks it's more so in decks that have, if you're holding a dragon, triggers, and they're just trying to fill out. It's like, okay, I need more dragons in my deck in order to fill this out, because Evasive Worm is like, it's a pretty reasonable removal card on its own, but I don't think it's something that you're going to see in decks that aren't trying to take advantage of dragon synergies as much.
I was curious. Okay, so we didn't actually get to see it played, but obviously we announced Ysera Unleashed pretty early on with Descent of Dragons.
Sorry.
On the card crypt. How you feeling about that? 7 dragons in your deck that get summoned. Pretty spicy.
That is pretty spicy. I believe you get the Dream Portals, however. So there is a cost, because if you look at the rest of the deck has a lot of draw your next card. If it's a dragon, play a minion from your deck. But the portals, I believe, are spells. So it kind of challenges the flow of the deck a little bit. I think the idea with Ysera Unleashed is it's like your final drop. It's kind of like a Chef Nomi type of play, where if you have very few cards left, you don't quite have to have 0. It's a full dragon board. So I think that's the idea, and it's certainly pretty exciting. I mean, I imagine we still have quite a few dragons to see in this stream.
You know, maybe a couple here and there.
Yeah, you can play Ysera pretty late. You can play Ysera pretty late. One of the things that sometimes happens, like you'll play games where you'll have Breath of Dreams, then you'll play Frizz Kindle Roost, and then you'll end up playing Ysera on turn 7. And that's the kind of thing that like it really starts to snowball a game, because then you start drawing portals, and then you can start drawing more dragons. That was in one of the playtest games that I had with Keaton, actually, when I was playtesting Dragon Druid. A lot of the game turned 7 Ysera's, and that ended up being like pretty powerful.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, summoning dragons from your deck's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Okay, we have one more card. Let's go ahead and search at the bottom so we don't reveal any other cards from the stream. It is Bloodsail Flybooter.
Oh, a small minion.
There we go.
No, it's a rogue card, I imagine.
Yes, that is correct. Specified. Boom.
1 cost 1/1 battle cry. Add 2 1/1 pirates to your hand, which I imagine have no abilities.
Well, that's Mr. Dean Ayala.
It's the pirate swarm. They're pretty fly for some pirate guys.
Gotta love that flavor text.
That one, yeah.
You guys really get a kick out of these.
We do, yeah.
Okay.
We really enjoy writing the flavor text.
Did you write that one, Dean?
I didn't, no.
Okay.
I'm not funny enough to write flavor text.
Okay. That had to be like Chad or like Toad.
It had to be someone funny, yeah.
Okay.
But
So the idea is just swarm with a bunch of 1/1s. Are there perhaps more pirate synergies we can expect to see?
maybe. I think with Bloodsail Flybooter, one of the things that's really cool is that you can play it on turn 1 and then you can swarm a bunch of minions, but I think like Rogue tends to like to play with combo a lot, and this is one of the things that pretty easily activates that. You can play this on turn 1. And then, as you know, with like when you have a bunch of lackeys in your hand, it becomes a lot easier to trigger like your SIs and your other lackey generators and that sort of thing. So
No jest to takie złe.
you do that. It reminds me a little bit of Firefly. It's like a little bit different flavored.
Kiedy kolejna gierka? No, spytaj się Creepa i tych dwóch chłopów.
Edwin and stuff as well. Probably not as good just on its own as something like Firefly, but there's a lot of similarities there.
Sure. Yep. Well, cool. Gentlemen, we got some more games. So that's the deck that we're going to be playing. We're going to be going up against Pure Paladin. So let's back out. Chalky, whenever you're ready. We're ready for that friendly challenge. We'll see if Galakron Shaman can take on the Pure Paladin. So, Crip and Dean.
Hype moment. We have not seen the Shaman Galakron card. Even an Invoke card.
We're going to find out.
We're going to reveal it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty interesting because the Invoke card Galakron Hero Powers.
Jak myślicie, to będzie robił? Ja myślę, że zmienia kreatury o 1 droższą, albo o 2 droższą, albo o 4 droższą.
I think Keaton's actually playing.
To znaczy Evolve o 1 koszt, albo o 2 koszty, albo o 4 koszty.
As well. So here it looks like we already
Invoke Galakron twice.
You can actually see in the tooltip what that's
I
going
missed
to be
it.
too.
Invoke Shaman. Use Galakron's power, summon a 2/1 elemental with Rush. Wow, that card's amazing.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite invokes, just because it's a lot.
What the fuck?
I think even the warrior one gives you attack, which is.
Za 5 many 3/3 plus 2/1, 2/1 rush.
Keep the card with this one.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have to react to something else. Like with these invokes, like say for example the 4-mana 2/2 that has Rush that invokes. Well, that's a 4-mana 2/2 with Rush and also summons a 2/1 with Rush. So it's actually like.
Well, I kind of want to keep one of them. I don't know if I should keep 2 of them. That's kind of a lot to keep. We also have the Surging Tempest, which is a premium statted 1-drop. 1 for a 1/3. It's an elemental. And you get 1 attack when you have overloaded mana crystals. We've seen this as a trigger, I believe, on at least one other Shaman card.
I think so, yeah. And then Storm's Wrath is pretty
There
sick.
you go. Yeah. Give your minions +1/+1. Overload 1. Now, I believe we had a Druid card that did exactly this without the overload, but seemingly overload can be an advantage now.
It can be an advantage, and then also, I think Mark of the Lotus is the Druid card. Mark of the Lotus is one of the most powerful cards, I think, in Hearthstone history.
Is it?
There's some room, I think, to be a little bit less powerful than Mark of the Lotus and still be pretty powerful. There's another dragon, it looks like they've got.
We got Nithog.
Yeah.
We have seen this card.
Yep.
I'm kind of curious how reliably these eggs will actually hatch, but I guess if they don't, still all right.
Yeah, it's
you
still
absorb
fine.
quite a bit of damage.
If you absorb 6 damage, like it's pretty hard to deal with something that comes down on turn 6, and it's basically like 11 health of stuff you have to deal with, especially in a deck that's playing like
New
more
side quest.
temporaries.
New side quest. Righteous Cause. Summon 5 minions. Reward. Give your minions +1/+1. Not too bad.
I think it's actually pretty good. We're gonna find out how how Jockey here is going to use that.
Okay, so what we can do is play the Sandstone Elemental to clear off his Glowtron.
Yeah.
Or we can do nothing and coin the Thunderhead next turn. I think I'm going to clear it.
Yeah, I think that's probably best. Like, our deck is a Galakron deck. We've got some like higher cost, just being able to survive. And judging that, like, he's playing a side quest that gives all of his minions 1/1, so I think that what we can...
Side quest, kurde, chyba nie jest taki zły nawet. Takiego token Palladyna.
I would hope so. Now, the other thing is, even though we see the Galakron hero power, we don't get to see what the Shaman Galakron battle cry is until we actually play one of these cards. So I'm thinking I'm going to save a coin for one of those.
What the fuck?
Totem and then just...
Czemu on zagrał coś, co przyzywa dwie kreatury i 2/1? Ty ci weną tego balona pokaż, chłopie.
Okay, we also have Skyclaw. So it's 3 for a 1/2. Your other mechs have +1 attack. Battlecry, summon 2 microcopters, and the microcopters are 1/1 mechs.
But they're kind of 2/1 mechs because as long as Skyclaw's in play, you can obviously, like in this situation, you can remove Skyclaw and then make a value trade here.
I think we'll do that. Now this is a bit of a new archetype, the minion spamming paladin. It seems like it has some direct synergy already with these. Let's see if we can see a little bit more here.
Okay, there is a 4-mana card in this deck that's pretty powerful. That was not it.
No.
But Skyclaw itself is actually pretty powerful.
But I mean, Skyclaw stacks his Skyclaw and he has the Righteous Cause triggering there. Yeah, that's quite a lot to deal with.
That was a pretty powerful turn. I think Skyclaw is going to be one of the ones that obviously works really well with the side quest just because it summons so many minions.
Okay, now we either can choose to try to win or we can choose to see Galakron faster. I'll make the decision for you.
Okay.
All right, let's see it. Shaman Galakron. It's time. What is the battle cry effect? We get 2 invokes, so we're immediately phase 2 Shaman Galakron. And the battle cry is summon storms with rush. But it looks like they scale up. So summon 2 storms with rush is the base card, and we've already upgraded to summon 2 4/4 storms with rush. I imagine the ultimate version is summon 2 8/8 storms with rush.
You summon 2 8/8s with rush, and then you also, of course, just like the rest of the Galakron minions, or the Galakron hero cards, you equip a 5/2 weapon as well. So the Galakron Shaman, I think, is a little bit more tempo-oriented. You're summoning a whole bunch of minions. I think that there's been a lot of circumstances where you use the Galakron Invoke to be effective as removal, because obviously the minions have rush. But because the minions stick around, even when you play on an empty board, you can play it in a deck that has cards like Storm's Wrath in it, and just use those minions to sort of beat down your opponent, and then just in the game, really, with these like giant rush creatures.
There's quite a huge rush theme to this expansion. We see Hunters getting a lot of synergy with rush, a lot of rush cards. We see Warrior getting some more rush cards.
Yeah.
And now all of Galakron Shaman is rush. Yeah. I guess you guys really like the rush mechanic.
We do, I think. So there's a new card here, right?
Freeze an enemy, invoke Galakron. So you get to choose. We also have 10 mana. So that's not bad. I think we're gonna freeze, and I would like to play this card. I would like to play this card. It's gonna be a full board.
Yeah, the eggs don't get too big of a benefit from being +1/+1.
Chwilę, on przyzywa 2 8/8 rasza czy 4/4?
Now we're gonna float a little bit of mana here.
8/8, tak?
I think it's time to go face.
Go piu piu.
Paladin's gonna struggle to deal with this because really there's only what, like one thing.
The eggs can attack. Interesting.
Very.
All right. So I think the idea is here that we're just going to get these eggs to go off, and we just deal with the board next turn. We'll get to invoke Galakron again with a Devoted Maniac.
Ty właśnie, czemu te jajka mogą atakować? What the fuck?
In a lot of decks, I can't imagine in this deck you get a 2/2 rush and a 2/1 rush, and you get the invoke effect. Oh, this is a new card. Light Forged Crusader. 7 cost, 7/7. The battle cry: if your deck has no neutral cards, add 5 random Paladin cards to your hand. No neutral cards.
That's why the deck is called Pure Paladin.
Paladin doesn't have to dirty itself with those neutral cards. It can stay pure to the cause of playing Paladin cards.
That is the idea, yeah.
Amazing. All right. So we got Surging Tempest.
So I don't think that we can kill our opponent here.
No, well, no, I'm pretty sure we can kill our opponent here. I'm pretty sure it's... Oh, he, what is the card? He subdued our Nithog. That's right. That's where we lost the lethal. I'm kind of thinking we just throw everything that can go face into face, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take out the dragon and see what happens, and hope our opponent doesn't play Nozari.
Maybe we'll sacrifice 1 damage here. Nozari. Nozari is the dragon that we got earlier this year that fully heals both players. Not looking forward to that in this game. But there are a lot of ways to actually discover dragons, to generate dragons nowadays. That a card like that is probably going to see a lot of play, even if it's not included in a lot of these decks. I think we just go all in.
Yep.
Fill the board. This is very Shaman.
It is, yeah. Shaman is just generally known for, you know, like Bloodlust is probably, I would argue, like one of the most iconic Shaman cards. And that's kind of the kind of card that might go in this deck too.
Well, Bloodlust is one of the most iconic Shaman-related things in the Warcraft universe. So
yeah. Shaman is one of those classes that is kind of a struggle a little bit to design for, because just thematically what Shamans do is they're naturally kind of like the jack of all trades class. So when you have a class that kind of does everything, that can present some problems sometimes, but that is thematically kind of what they're about.
New card, Lightforged Zealot. 4 for a 4/2 battlecry. If your deck has no neutral cards, equip a 4/2 True Silver Champion. Oh, that's quite the reward.
Yes, yeah, it's really, really insane. It's the reward for deck building. It's pretty similar to the no duplicates cards like Reno, for example. It's like the rewards maybe not as crazy.
Troll Batrider. That's a new one.
Yeah.
Deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion. So it's not your opponent's face. It's a random enemy minion. That's very strong, I feel.
Yeah, you can depend on it to actually kill a minion. I think some people would view that as downside, and I think there's a lot of circumstances where you want to go face, but there's also a lot of circumstances where you don't want to deal with the randomness. You'd rather just be able to...
I want to play Galakron. Where's my Galakron?
You won too fast.
Oh, well...
Yeah, we may have to come back to a Shaman game later, because Galakron wasn't shown. I was also watching, I was like, huh.
Well, we went over some of the stuff, so we know what Galakron does, we know what the Invoke stuff is, but playing him is...
He's the cool guy.
I want to play Galakron.
He's the big boy.
I want a world-first non-dev Galakron.
Me too.
I know.
All right, well, we'll probably come back. Let's wait till the end.
Yep.
Maybe we can jump in a quick game with Chalky. Maybe he'll be okay with it, and then we'll come back to it. But let's jump to the collection manager. Cool. Hey, we got quests. Well, that's good. It's good to know. Looks like we only missed 1 card from that deck, so let's jump in the Galakron Shaman deck.
Well, let's take a quick look at Galakron, if you don't mind.
Let's go. Please. Absolutely.
There you go. Galakron the Tempest. Summon 2 storms with Rush, and hero power becomes 2/1 elemental with Rush. I don't believe there are any elemental synergies off of a hero power at this point in time. Oh, there is. There's the elemental of 2 attack.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The 8 cost.
Yeah, that card I think is maybe not the power level it might need to be in order to be in this deck. But just the rush mechanic in general attached to this Galakron just makes it really, you know, I keep sort of repeating myself, but it's really good for removal, and it's also really good for just minions to stick around on the board, which is both, you know, it's good for, you know, being able to survive and also being able to kill your opponent. So, pretty powerful effect.
Yeah. How do you feel about this Galakron in comparison with the other ones? That is the new one. That is the new one. You can answer my question later. Let's focus on the new card, Dragon's Pack. What do you think?
Summon 2/3 Spirit Wolves with Taunt. If you've invoked twice, give them +3/+3. That's a lot of stats to give them.
Yeah, 5 mana, summon 2 5/6s with Taunt.
So the Frost Wolves, they come off of a 3-cost spell that traditionally has seen play. but I think maybe has fallen off in the last year or so.
Yeah, it's still a card that's like fringe in a lot of Shaman decks, even today, which is pretty good, since Shaman decks can be pretty powerful.
Yeah. Giving them +3/+3, they're 5/6 taunts. 2 5/6 taunts if you've invoked twice. You also do not overload. So the Frostwolf total mana cost is 3 plus the 2 overload. This is 5 total. You gotta pay it up front, so you can't just, you know, cheese your opponent out of the game immediately on turn 3. That is extremely powerful.
Yeah. While the invoke effect for Shaman is one of the more powerful ones for sticking around in the game. When you do invoke, it's usually not quite as good as just playing a card that does not invoke. If you're not thinking about Galakron at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're able to play Dragon's Pack on turn 5, it's generally a game where you haven't been like snowballing the game too crazy in the beginning. That's why we think it's kind of okay if you end up playing Dragon's Pack on turn 5. You've been doing some stuff that's relatively lower power level, but when you're playing this card later in the game, that's kind of when I expect it to be played more likely.
I quite like the Batrider. The Batrider might fit into Quest Shamans right now. It has a pretty powerful battle cry effect. I think this is quite similar to the Bomb Lobber. You know, you have to always weigh the odds and the risk in the game. How many minions do I clear to increase the consistency of it? Behind the scenes than you might think. Troll Batrider is more playable, being 4 and dealing 3, because a lot of the time when you need to kill minions, they don't have as much health when you're in that desperate situation. Battlecry. Battlecry Shaman.
Absolutely. Well, back to the question I asked before. How do you feel? So this is the final Galakron to be revealed for the set. This compared to the other 4 that we've already showcased. Thoughts?
Well, it's quite well themed. It's a board-centric mid-range type of Galakron. As you were saying, it just keeps you in the game more so because of the invoke ability. Even though a lot of the other Galakron effects do affect the board. For example, the Warrior Galakron gives you 3 attack. That's presumably to hit a minion with. Yep. You know, you can still control the board pretty well leading up to playing Galakron because they're all 7-cost hero cards. You have to make the turn 7 to actually get rewarded fully for committing to Galakron. With Shaman, you're going to be able to do that a lot of the time. Maybe more so than the other Galakron. To deal with more of the board, you're taking that health damage. With Shaman, it seems like it's going to be one of the more consistent Galakron decks because you're just going to get there into the game. From what I can see in this deck,
Corrupt Elementalist and I think Invocation of Frost are also 2 of the more powerful invoke just cards in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Let's jump into game 3. For the next game, we've got Reno Mage versus Galakron Priest. So we'll see if Reno can, you know, take on good old Galakron. Yeah, maybe Keaton will actually play the Galakron card. So, anyways, we're gonna let Crip and Dean take it away for Reno Mage versus Galakron Priest. Let's take it away, gentlemen.
Well, you still get to kind of tease yourself with Galakron, even in the games where you don't play him. More so than the Cthulhu-Vold, right? The Cthulhu-Vold is always, oh yeah, Cthulhu's a 6. Okay, he's an 8. He's a 10.
I'm here.
He's a 12. He's a 14. All right, we got Malygos. Now, I wonder if Malygos is powerful enough to keep in the opening hand. It's a dragon.
I think that we should keep it just for the sake of keeping it.
We can forget about the Mountain Giant. This is old news.
Old news.
Yeah. We want new cards only. And we picked up Frizz. Wow, that's got to be a really good one.
Yeah. It's the kind of card that if you can play it on turn 4, there's some decks that don't really allow you to play a 4-mana 5/4 on turn 4. But if we're like in this kind of matchup, if we're really playing against Galakron Priest, it's going to be a little bit slower. They're going to try to generate tons of resources. So we're probably going to have time just to play a 4-mana 5/4 and make the rest of our game a little bit easier.
So unlike the Galakron cards, this is new here. Disciple of Galakron, 1 cost, 1/2, Battlecry, invoke Galakron. Wow, that's really good.
Imba.
That's really, really good. So we just cut away from the game here. I think we have, hold on. It's a new card, but we have seen this one. We were talking about Galakron and how a lot of the Galakron heroes and the invoke effects keep you in the game until you get Galakron, with Warrior giving you attack, with the Shaman Galakron card we just saw that gives you rush 2/1 elementals. The Priest Galakron does not give you tempo on the board. So when you play Galakron, he gets obviously a very powerful effect, but it doesn't lead to a situation where you're likely going to make it to the late game.
Yeah, I think the advantage to something like this is...
Ping here.
Okay. And the advantage to the priest deck, for example, as opposed to the shaman one, is while the shaman one keeps you in the game, and then there's minions that you can play, that you can buff, and maybe you can, destroy your opponent's hero pretty quickly. The priest one has the advantage of it's really going to keep you in the game super late. Because if say you're playing against Control Warrior or something like that, they're just removing all your rush minions, and they can remove your 8/8s at the end of the game. Like when you're playing shaman, Galakrond's not really generating a lot for you going forward.
Deal 8 damage to a minion. Any excess damage continues left or right. Cool.
What do you think?
Burn stuff, I guess. All right, well, we'll get there when we get to 5 mana, and we'll see how it's going to work out at that point. Now, I wanted to talk about Envoy of Lazul. My chat was telling me that the player who plays this is given an option of 3 cards, one of which is actually in my hand, which you guessed correctly, but 2 of which are otherwise in my deck. Is that right?
I
believe so?
Believe so. I know we changed some of the rules on that one pretty late. I think there's a lot of people on the team that worked really hard on a lot of the rules, and I'm not one of them.
So we get Splitting Image, Lunas, or Arcane Intellect. I'm going to take Lunas in the hopes that we have the new Mage card that if you're holding a dragon, you get to discount a spell to 0. That seems like...
I think Lunas is the one that's going to lead us to the spiciest outcomes.
Exactly, exactly.
And that's what we're here for.
Well, we had Lunas at 7. Not a lot of people played it. We had it at 5. Every single person played it. And now we have it back at 7. But now we have a card that costs 6 that can discount it to 0.
Yeah, I think...
That's the compromise.
Also, I think if you could pick the matchups being against very slow control priest, I think that maybe a lot of people would, in fact, play it at 7 still. So we get to choose that as we discover.
So Frizz, we're making, just for the time being, we're making things cost 2 less until we do the Lunas. But I have faith that the card that discounts spells to 0 is in this deck. I'm going to wait for optimal value.
Okay.
All right. Now, while we're going to see Chalky play with the board, we have to consider rolling Fireball. 8 damage to a minion. Any excess continues to left or right.
A lot of times you're going to end up picking one on the very left or the very right, so you can guarantee that it's going to roll one way or the other.
So it does guarantee that then.
Right. So yeah, if we hit the left one, it will roll to the right, and if we hit the right one, it will roll to the left.
Czy ja mam mówić, jak oni gadają, czy mam im nie przeszkadzać? Zawsze się zastanawiam, czy mam gadać, czy mam nie gadać.
If they know it's in your hand, to some degree, but you can mitigate some of their randomness by trading and things like that.
So there is a Chrono Breaker on the other side of the board. We have seen this card revealed in the past. It's a 5-cost 4/5 dragon, and if you're holding a dragon, when it dies, it deals 3 damage to all enemy minions. Insanely powerful effect, but it is a death rattle, so you don't always get to control when it works off, and that is certainly in our favor in this game.
Mogę gadać,
So
okej?
now that he has another dragon, though that should not be much of a surprise.
Nazywam się Mateusz, jestem ciekawy, co z tego Marygosa się pojawi. Nie, a ten Czarmaga jest mega fajny, mega mi się podoba ten epic.
OP spells.
OP Lux.
3 random mage spells, 4 cards, or 2 damage to all enemy minions.
So next turn we would have. Can we?
Mówić, co myślisz, jak pokażę nową
I think
kartę,
we go
okej.
with the draw just because we have Lunas for optimal spiciness.
Yeah, because I think that we can. Can we next turn play Intellect and then play Mountain Giant? Is that the amount of cards that we have in our hand? Because we'll have 7.
Patrzcie, jak ten smog na tym czarze tak średnio pasuje. On tam nie jest dopasowany w ogóle.
Mill one? I believe we mill
I think we
one.
mill one, but that's okay.
That's okay.
As long as it's not. I think Keaton built these decks, so he said that this bit of an advantage. Like,
Consider. We can always do rolling fireball.
only Fireball.
Rain day rolling, rolling.
But we can learn Draconic.
Yeah. That actually seems pretty good.
You like that?
Yeah, we can play Learn Draconic. And
Let's
then
do it.
Fireball.
Uczymy się
So I'm gonna
smoczego.
roll on the 3 just to reduce the amount of damage on the board. And yeah, I think I'll hit.
I think we may as well trade.
Yeah. Well, close to trade.
Close, yeah. Trade damage.
Trade damage. With the priest having a fairly non-board related Galakron effect, and because he's playing Galakron, he's probably going to be invoking a lot. I imagine it's
Spoko dziewczyny, będę mówił.
use a hero power while keeping up with our game plan.
It's going to be generating tons and tons of minions over time.
Yeah.
Póki co,
Rather play new minions.
Best of December to Rolling Fireball.
Give a minion Death Rattle, summon 2 copies of this. Grave.
What? Da crap! No to jest słabe raczej. Chociaż, nie wiem, ale wydaje się być raczej średnie.
It's a really, really combo-y sort of card. Like, I know that people are going to come up with some really, like, crazy stuff.
Macie jakiś
It's the kind of thing that you look at and you're like, well, we know that you can do, like, Leroy sort of things with it. Alex tries to
Leroy,
Yes.
We're going to get some cool cards.
All right, so we get cards from all classes, right? Yes, we got a warrior card. Now, do we want 5 armor or do we want 1 extra health in our Twilight Drake? I think we want Ember Scale, Twilight Drake.
Przecież masz smoka. Kalegos jest smokiem.
Oh, we have other drag. We have Kaligos.
Yeah.
The dragon of old.
Yeah, we just play them both.
Okay, let's do it.
No takie nie za słabe. Za 7 many, 8 na 8, plus 4, 8, plus 5, 5, plus 5 arbora. No takie normalne Hearthstone things.
Playing it against like mid-range or aggro decks, there's a lot of removal options, and plus the 2/8 is kind of hard to deal with. That was a big flame strike.
That was a little unfortunate.
Got stuff to do.
Okay. Well, we can do one almost as big next turn.
We could play
Explorer.
We could play Kaligos and Pocket Galaxy.
You like that?
We're not really under.
We can also Kaligos and Puzzle Box of Yogg-Saron.
That's more of a last resort, I think.
Okay, well you're no fun.
Well, I mean, I want to play the rest of the cards that we have.
Oh yes, we get to discover first. Unexpected results. So we do have some spell damage off the Azure Explorer here for potentially better unexpected results.
It's also good with Shooting Star.
Okay, fine. Let's do it with Shooting Star just to keep the board in control. And Luna's. This is always very satisfying.
Yeah, Frizz is less good now, but it doesn't really matter because all of our stuff costs 1. So that's kind of what you want when you're playing Hearthstone.
You want to play Frizz afterwards.
Yeah, generally in Hearthstone you want really big stuff and you want it to cost very little.
Oh my! Who's playing the mage again?
It looks like it's Keaton. Well, he has the Spirit of the Dead in play, which is not something that started in his deck.
Yeah. And there's Galakron. We actually got to see a Galakron being played here. This is not a heavily invoked Galakron, but even at its base, destroy 1 random enemy minion. When that minion is Kaligos, I guess you're relatively happy.
It's a pretty big deal. I think it kind of goes to show that you don't really have to wait on your Galakron to be like full tier every time.
What is that?
It's a giant. Giants are 8/8 and they cost 0.
To jest
No, how much does it cost to begin with?
Ale nie do tego deku.
Okay, let's play it.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, there it is on the screen. 8 mana.
Oh yeah.
So it costs 1 less for each card you've played that didn't start in your deck. That's a tough requirement, but it doesn't start with 12 mana or something like that, as some of the other more expensive giants do.
It's usually not costing.
Ten giant wygląda, wydaje się być spoko, tylko że nie do takiej talii chyba.
So this does
Wydaje mi się, w tej talii to większość kart jest.
And everything we draw costs 1 in terms of minions. We got Siamat, we got Reno, we got a big ol' welt. Let's just play a big ol' welt because we got another card.
It's probably going to cost 1.
After you play 3 spells in a turn, I don't know if I can pull that off. The timer is being brutal here. Okay, let's just play the giants.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You can do it.
I can do it. All right. I'm not pushing my luck on that.
You want to just play Shenvala then?
Okay. No, we just played nothing. I'm blaming the mouse.
Okay. That was imaginative.
Lame.
Well, he's only has.
Ile ten giant kosztuje many? 8.
So we should be.
It's not a lot of damage, and his hero power doesn't affect the board, but he has a lot of value. So we're gonna have to try to crush the board at some point. But we probably can, seeing as we have Flame Strike, we have the Azure Explorer for spell damage, and we can actually use the Shooting Star in the same turn as well to clean up.
We can use all things. There's another Malik.
Oh my god.
So I think that this is still a clear though.
Yes, we
Flame Strike.
yes.
Fala płomieni Malegosa jest
So we're gonna do Wizard
huge.
Explorer. We're gonna get a dragon. What are we looking for? What is the ideal dragon?
Probably not one of these, but
I already chose for you.
yeah, Deathwing's the one that we're pretty far behind. So I'm just putting ourselves in a place where we have an out if something goes drastically wrong.
I can't imagine anything will go wrong.
No.
Before Deathwing, we have Puzzle Box of Yogg-Saron.
I think this version of Reno Mage is more like a traditional control deck, whereas before you were trying to play like very early minions and like Conjurer's Calling them, and then play things like Pocket Galaxy, especially after the Boomsday buff patch hit. And I think this version is you're just trying to play Reno to clear board and eventually play your big minions and win the game, sort of just in a traditional kind of control way, which is actually a really fun deck.
I mean, I don't. The Lunas that we got, I think, was a generated spell.
Yeah.
But Luna seems like a pretty good fit for this deck.
Yeah, it can definitely fit. I mean, I think we're seeing most of the benefit just because we're playing against something that's very, very slow and control-y, but it still could fit in this deck.
All right. Should we try to build a board with Shinvala? I think that might be fun.
Yeah, do we have enough stuff? I guess we have Ray, so
Yeah.
that is.
I mean, I don't know. You have faith that we'll need much more than that?
We're just gonna kill it.
Oh, we're just gonna kill it.
I guess we can just fire the other Ray on. So
No, spell damage is a problem now. Okay, fine. I'm doing it. I'm gonna freeze the whelp. Freeze the whelp for 5/5. But more importantly, we get
Dobre.
to do
Dobre.
Shinvala.
Very dobre.
Snow Elemental.
Oh, the horror.
Probably we don't want to play Reno. I think they're like Seabot's probably the one, right? It's like Divine Shield.
I'm
Fury or
thinking
something.
so, but because I don't know all the cards in the game right now, I worry that something really bad is about to happen to it. I'm gonna do a Wind Fury Divine Shield Tiamat for optimal push.
Oh yeah, there was a card, right, that we were looking at that got revealed today. That was a priest card. I wonder if he's gonna play it.
Which one's that?
Well, I don't want to tell you now.
Oh,
because, it was
that
this
one.
Yeah,
It was that
this
one.
Yeah. So this is gonna be pretty good. He's gonna play a lot of cards because you played a lot of cards.
Yes, that is a problem.
That is fucking huge, baby.
He's much better than me.
So that's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be some decks out there that are doing some
Ten smok wydaje się być mega dobry.
the same turn. Some are
A grasz to samo co twój przeciwnik plus 8 na 8. What the fuck? Chłopie, z jednej karty jeszcze.
Turns where you're just like playing one big minion at a time, like Murazan can come down with the big minion, and it's just kind of good.
Oh, this is a bit interesting. So, if you have the ultimate faith in Yogg-Saron, we can unleash the puzzle box. But if you don't, we can always just Frost Nova, I guess.
I think that we should Nova. I have faith in Yogg-Saron, but I just want to give Chalk
Go,
the
Yogg.
most
Go,
possible
go, 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 Yogg.
and then
Go,
take
Yogg.
it away from him, like at the end.
I guess. All right. Well, he can't actually heal, so I'm thinking that we just hit face, and then we pray for Puzzle Box or Deathwing or a better Reno next time.
Seems fine.
Okay, let's go. Would you play Reno here? I don't think I would. That could only end in disaster if he actually has a heal, I feel.
Yeah, I think
All
we
right.
just don't play it.
Skip it. We're still in pretty good shape. Like, we have quite a bit of damage here. We have the Deathwing insurance policy. If I go with insurance, I pick Deathwing insurance.
We're actually in a pretty bad spot. We can't really kill our opponent. They have way, way more resources than us.
But we have Deathwing.
We do have Deathwing, but that's just going to give us less resources.
All right.
Co to było?
Hold on a second. Death Rattle, add arcane missile spells to your hand. Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's an amazing one-drop minion that gives you some value. I like to call these cantrips.
Yes. Lots of people in card games like to call these cards.
Jakie se.
Yeah, Arcane Missiles is a card that you just kind of want in some decks. There's been like a bunch of decks that play like Sorcerer's Apprentice and that sort of thing.
Który murozond lepszy, a to
There's
jest
two
ich
ways that
kilka?
actually we do this. We either go face and puzzle box, or we go face and Deathwing.
I think we go face and Puzzle Box.
Okay, good call. Chat will approve.
Dlatego robię challenge teraz? No dokładnie, już coś popatrzę, co się nie będzie dało po dodatku.
Exactly. That's a problem. That's a problem. Wasn't sure we cleared this. Well, that's a good start. That's maybe less good.
That's very good.
That is very good. Being at 13 health, if we can actually manage to clear this board at some point, hopefully in the sequence of the puzzle box.
That was pretty sick too. Okay.
Less sick.
That was very good. That was very good. That was
Still need a little bit. Ow! Okay, no. And we're dead.
We are. Maybe he'll miss it. Maybe he'll think it's buried.
And we
need to clean.
Well, if it is barrier, you'd only have to clear one, so I think we're gonna get hit in the face immediately.
I think so. I think if Keaton was really trying to win this game. It is pretty dicey though, because there's
new side quest. Elemental allies.
Oh, nice.
Play an elemental 2 turns in a row. You have to play it, not summon it.
Yes.
Play an elemental 2 turns in a row, and the reward, draw 3 spells from your deck.
Yeah.
Very targeted draw. Now I gotta go back and see what cards that have just been released for mage or elementals. But I think we'll get just this opportunity here in a moment.
There's some elementals that mage is kind of already playing. Like
Ten side quest mi się podoba.
Well, I think that the new one is an elemental.
Look at you with all the quests, man. Welcome to Hearthstone. Look at this. All these cool 100
just
gold.
keep getting more and more quests.
Ty, side questy wreszcie się pokazują.
Did not see.
Widzieliście?
It's not in the
nie,
deck
widać
that we
tam
had. It's
gdzieś.
actually in Chalky's deck.
Oh.
I'm not sure if it's a priest card or a neutral. I can't remember.
That's
Whispers of Evil is the name of the
it's a
card.
priest
Whispers of Evil.
Whispers of Evil.
Add a lackey to your hand.
Hand for 0. I thought we'd stop making cards that cost 0. This is going to destroy the game.
we're not nearly done making 0 cards. Like Priest, for example, has been playing. There's like Nomi Priest that played a whole bunch of 0 cost cards, which I think is actually pretty cool with stuff like Auctioneer. Priest is supposed to be one of the classes, along with Rogue, that does a whole bunch of like tempo-oriented things. So being able to combo a bunch of cards together. We had Add a Lackey to your hand was just like a cool design.
Nie wiem, czy to jest dobre.
We had it for a while and just wasn't really something that you would ever do at once. We ended up making it 0. And I think now it's going to fit in some of those decks where you just want a whole bunch of cheap spells. If you want to play things like Auctioneer, this gives you some more room to be able to do that.
I think it's just a pretty good card, actually, because the Warlock Discover a Lackey at 1 mana is pretty fairly budgeted. You get to choose, which is pretty valuable. But at 0, you're going to get a good tempo push no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that's like, give a minion +2 health or whatever. It's not exactly something that you want in some circumstances. So the fact that it's not like Discover, there's some downside there, and like you don't really get to depend on what you get. But for the most part, lackeys are very valuable in terms of like being a 1-drop, more valuable than most 1-drops.
I think the best part about that card was actually the flavor text.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, you should go back and read it. It was pretty great. It's talking about Lazul doing ASMR, and that's why, like, yeah.
Madame Lazul's ASMR program is off to a promising
It's pretty great. So far, flavor text of this expansion is pretty
like
spicy.
I said, written by someone funny. Somewhere on the
Well, people will get to check out all the flavor texts.
Beczunia! Beczunia!
Get the cards right away. I think they're going to be updated in the client, if I'm not mistaken.
They will
Maybe
be on the
they'll
website. So they're already on the website as well.
Okay.
Now, granted, I don't know if we have the flavor text on the website, but you can actually start deck building right now if you wanted to. Technically, we have a web deck builder on playhearthstone.com where you can start taking the Descent of Dragons cards and building decks of your own at home, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Po 6 latach mamy deck builder na stronie, kumacie! 6 lat nam zajęło zbudowanie go.
You're going to see lots of Violet Spellwings.
Yeah.
Taki żart.
I think most mage decks are going to start with this card in the foreseeable future. It's just that awesome cantrip that holds the board and does something later.
Yeah, I think for like really aggressive decks are just trying to do this kind of thing anyway with Sorcerer's Apprentice and do combos with Mana Cyclone and that sort of stuff. And even for late game decks, so you have a minion and then you also have like access to some a little bit of removal. So it's pretty flexible.
Now, there is one deck here that we haven't played, and it's called Pirate Warrior.
Yeah, people love Pirate Warrior.
They do?
Pirate!
Let's see.
Is it back?
And it's back in a new flavor, and it doesn't have patches. But
I think everybody's like,
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Is there like a new card?
No i kto nie ma Patchesa? What the fuck? O czym wy gadacie?
We wouldn't do that. So.
Okay, well, cool. We've got Pirate Warrior versus Treant Druid. Let's see who gets the W.
Treant Druid, a lot of people are really excited.
I'm pretty excited actually
about the new Druid hero. Did you see the new hero?
Oh yes, the hero skin.
Yeah,
yes,
the new hero skin.
Yes, of course. I did hear it was all the rage.
Oh, there's MKR. That's the one that's not like patches.
Okay. I imagine playing MKR in like every warrior deck, just because it's such a strong card. Even if I didn't plan on playing Pirate Warrior, just put some pirates in there and use MKR just to thin the deck some.
Yeah, it depends. Like obviously, like there has to be some amount of pirates that you're pretty excited to play.
And we have Sky Barge, which is a new one. 3 for a 2/5. It's a mech, and after you summon a pirate, you damage to a random enemy. So this is like Ship's Cannon, but better, and it's a mech.
Yes and no. I mean, the difference between 3 mana and 2 mana is a pretty big one, but
it's a lot of health.
Yeah, but yeah, the health is also a huge difference. So it's a different flavor of Ship's Cannon, but very similar, obviously.
So we're gonna do the strategy of we keep the cards that are new.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good strategy if you're trying to show off new cards. Reinforcements. It's the 1 mana 2/2.
I'm actually pretty excited about this card. We're not going to have a turn, but we're going to rope Chalky regardless. We're going to talk about reinforcements here. So the reason I love this card is I've seen Druids play Black Knight in the past, and this allows you to give your opponent's minion the ability of getting a better Black Knight. You get an early game push, which is what Chalky did here, which is a Treant. So you get synergy with the new Legendary, which is the 7-cost 5/10 taunt that buffs your Treants permanently by 1, possibly more if you play it again and again.
There's some like strange circumstances where you might like have a minion that's really valuable behind taunts, and then you give it taunts.
To znaczy, czy to nie jest przypadkiem taki większy kanonship? Jest.
Circumstance for sure, but it's this.
Był taki ten, działo okrętowe. Na arenach tym gram teraz.
More than ever minions that really need to be killed.
Yeah, a lot of them are just very large, so.
What's this? Parachute Brigand. 2 for a 2/2. After you play a pirate, summon this minion from your hand. Now we're talking about patches.
Yeah, this is from your hand, not from your deck. So very, very different.
Okay. So we're gonna MKR here because we want lots of pirates because we have.
Że tak naprawdę to zgadza się, jest to o wiele inne, znaczy o wiele nie jest takie mocne, bo traci kartę z ręki, a Patches działał troszkę inaczej, ale wydaje się być całkiem ciekawą opcją. Naprawdę, takiego agrodeku. Wild, Pirate, Wild pozdrawia, Piraci na Wildzie pozdrawiają.
It's my favorite golden card. It's really cool. He just sits there and looks so,
Are you a big fan of Golden Seed Giant? He also spins his wheel that he
Czat, mam pomysł. Zróbcie spam! Największy spam emotyk, jaki widzieliście.
That's actually pretty sick.
Okay.
I think you just have to do it, right?
South Sea Captain?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, let's see what else we get.
You could Sky Barge and just really hold back.
So we have Horde Pillager. Battlecry, equip one of your destroyed weapons. That's insane!
That's insane in this circumstance for sure. Yeah, we can attack with Sky Barge next turn and then play it. I think if we want to do the maximum BM.
Spam emotek, spam emotek, spam emotek, go, go, go!
What is the likelihood that he can kill it? I mean, it's a druid on 4 with no board. We're probably looking at some options with Rush, perhaps.
It's like double Wrath, maybe. That ain't it.
Okay.
Well, ale będzie szczolonie? No przestań się wieszać, kurde.
Evil Quartermaster. So you get a lackey and 3 armor. 3 cost, 2/3. Pretty strong stuff. Yeah. How do we want to do this?
We could play 4 pirates. We could play Raider, and then probably gonna clear.
I'll do the Raider. And then next turn we'll do the South Sea Captain. It's just now we don't get to take any damage on our minions or on our face. We run into that because I really want my Ankar destroyed.
I think that the chances that we run into that are pretty low, and then even if we do, that's not going to be
Make fun of us if we do, so I guess that's a win.
Yeah. Came together for us.
This is the
game that you really want if you're playing Pirate Warrior.
Aeroponics. That sounds like an exercise. Draw 2 cards you control.
Dobre, o kurde.
Base cost would be 3, I guess?
Oh,
2 less.
5.
It's 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, yes. So it's discounted by 2 for each training. So it's normally a 5 cost card.
Yes.
Which is, you don't want to be playing it at 5.
No.
Which has seen play forever.
Yeah, and there's tons of ways to generate nutrients, so...
That seems quite strong.
Yeah, you can be playing it for 0 mana, like, pretty often.
Okay. So I want to play more pirates. Now, the only way I can play 2, I believe, is if I play the Dread Corsair. I guess we'll do that then. Get the Captain, get the Dread Corsair, get some more... Are they cannonballs? Or are they sky barge balls?
I don't know what sky barge balls are.
Well,
So I think they're cannonballs.
okay.
So this is going pretty well.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I was saying earlier, fans of
You think so?
really love Pirate Warriors. They're really good. This is actually a horrifying moment, I think, if you're watching the stream. Like, is this what...
Fajna niespodzianka, podoba mi się.
The next expansion is that... Is getting sky barge like
You set me up
To
to
jest
destroy
też
trees.
dobre.
this? That's true, yeah. Pirates versus trees. Now we know who wins.
Okay, you gotta pronounce this one for me.
Shrubadier.
Shrubadier. Oh wow, that's much easier than I thought.
It might be Shrubadier.
Shrubadier.
Yeah, Shrubadier. Wait,
Sounds like a pirate.
it sounds like a shrub.
Well, yes, of course.
To jest szrab.
So
I think our opponent's dead.
hold on. I'm just trying to figure out the math here. I believe we can set our opponent's hit points to 0.
I think that
Chef.
we should do it by re-equipping Skybards, though. So we take him down to 2 or 1, and then we play. Seeing this now as it's coming, so it's not at the end.
I believe Skybarge has never hit our opponent in the face. I believe it's only hit minions. I think we've rolled
true.
like crazy.
Yes.
In addition to drawing really good cards, and synergy, and opening with Ankar, and reviving Ankar, and having South Sea Captain for all of our pirates, as well as the 2 free pirates that we got. We also got extremely lucky with every single cannonball.
Yeah, you're just a lucky guy.
Okay. Well, the other way to do this is just by roping out. What do you think of this play?
Yeah, this is pretty BM too.
It's pretty
I want to
BM.
hit him with the Ankar.
Okay, well, I don't know if I can do that in time. I actually didn't. I'm blaming that on you.
Yeah, so the mouse looked really slow there.
The mouse is pretty slow,
Kip
yes.
wasn't actually trying to do that. The mouse is just that slow. Yeah, there's a little bit of lagginess.
All right, see the effect.
Yeah, the effect's actually pretty cool.
There you go.
It's cool. It's not that good against the full board of pirates, but still cool.
Well, we get to kill him with Ankar. Nevertheless.
Okay, so Pirate Warrior was good.
Oh, what's that?
Add a random
Add up.
pirate to your hand.
1 cost.
Mega dobre.
Pirate. Wow, that's insane.
Mega dobre. What the fuck?
You know?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
That was one of the 2 that we did not
1
see.
mana cards.
Yeah, I mean, 1 mana 1/2. I think you just kind of want pirates if you're playing the Pirate Warrior, but also you're an aggro deck playing a 1/2. There's some downside there.
So let's jump back into the Pirate Warrior deck. There's 1 card we didn't see. We could go back over Sky Raider, but there's one other card we did not get to. At the
Sky
top,
Raider.
it's actually the top 2 cards. So
Well, I want to look at
Imbastyczne to
Sky
jest.
Raider Crypt Arena.
At a random
So that is
pirate
Blazing
to
Battle
your hand,
Mage.
and it is a pirate,
Yeah.
and it's a 1/2. It gets cards that can infinitely generate themselves. Typically don't, but I'm still waiting for that highlight. Like with the what is it? The Frightful
Flunky.
Flunky. That's right.
Yeah.
You can just get
A 2/2
forever
You
Frightful
can.
Flunkies.
Yeah.
And with Sky Raider, you can just the same way get infinite Sky Raiders.
You can. It's a little bit harder because it's not Discover, but you can. It is possible. You can get infinite 1-2s, which isn't really going to win you a lot of games, but it might get you some, Twitch highlights.
It's all about the highlight. Yes. That is winning.
Yeah,
that is
true.
The next level of winning.
That's true, yeah.
Well, this card also with Skybarge, as we just saw, we didn't get to Sky Raider, obviously, but that with Skybarge continues to just showcase the power of it
pretty well.
It keeps the train going of Skybarge balls, as Crip would call them.
Okay.
As you never hit face once, though. The RNG was good with this one.
And the new card that we got is Blazing Battle Mage. So just the tempo 1-drop. Traditionally, it's been 1 mana, 1/3 neutral cards that have made it into the aggro deck lists. Now we have a 1 mana 2/2. We had 1 mana 2/2s in Druid with the Raven in the past, but that card was slightly better because it was a beast, though I don't believe it was in any way relevant at that point in time.
We have 3 reinforcements now, too.
No minion type. Okay.
So I think a lot of the decks that are just trying to there's tons of aggressive decks that it's really, really important that you play a 1-drop on turn 1.
Yeah.
And I think when you're playing something that's hyper aggressive, Blazing Battle Mage might fit in. It's obviously not mid-range or control decks, but if playing a 1-drop is really important, just because you have synergies and you have buffs and just generating a board is really important, then this is something that might fit in your deck.
Patrzę na
You play a lot of aggro.
Pirata i te drzewce, to już więcej sensu ma ten Doomsayer za 1.
How do you feel 2/2 versus 1/3
Nie lajkuję go,
aggro list?
tak czy siak.
It depends. Like, if you have, say...
Danielu, wyjąłeś mi to z ust.
And you have cards that are Adapt a Beast for 2, then you're probably going to want Dire Mole and not...
Nie no, ten Skyrider jest mega mocny.
If you're doing
1, 2 i draw za 1. Nowic inżynierka była za 2, 1 na 2 i draw obiera kartę, co prawda z zaku, wiadomo. A tutaj macie tylko pirata, ale on jest za 1. Jest turbokotem.
Do we think this is the return of Pirate Warrior, boys? What do you think, Crip?
We certainly returned it to Chalky.
Yeah, we did.
We did. We really
He got the Ripperino on that one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this was...
Did he have any cards that we didn't see?
Nope, he showed all of them.
Oh. Cool.
Every single one of them. So I think we're going to do one more game because we wanted to showcase Galakron with Shaman, but I did real quick, just while we've got everybody here, before we go to the last game, talk about some stuff I mentioned in the beginning, but we had the audio issues, so I'm going to repeat it here super fast. We've got the patch dropping tomorrow for Descent of Dragons. Now, the expansion doesn't actually come out until the 10th, but what this will do is a couple of different things. One, 23 wild cards that rotated into Standard will be removed tomorrow. Crip's happy about that. So what this means for you is that the decks that you have that do include those 23 wild cards will need to be adjusted in order to be playable again. So make sure after you download the patch to go in, adjust your decks, make sure they're okay, and then you can jump back into rank. The last thing is we have some Battlegrounds balance changes coming, and I'm not going to get into the weeds on those, but you'll see in the patch notes tomorrow. It's going to be pretty spicy, and yeah, but anyways, let's play one more game, boys. Let's get that Galakron Shaman out on the board. Invoke it.
We're setting ourselves up for some disappointment here. We don't do it the second time.
It's going to happen, I believe.
It's just going to happen?
I believe.
Did we turn the knobs in the back to draw Galakron?
Chalky and Crip, I think, can use their mind powers together to, get it to the right spot.
There is the new neutral card that allows you to pull Galakron from your deck. I didn't see if it was included in this list, however.
Remember?
Halo, czyżby jutro karty z Wilda znikały ze standardu? A, akurat wtedy, kiedy będziemy grali rankedy? Ha, ciekawe zbieg okoliczności.
So, I have the initial instinct to mulligan everything that's not exactly Galakron, but I do want to keep the corrupt... Okay, let's do it.
That's exactly correct.
Okay. The Mogu Flesh Shaper is actually quite stronger now that Shaman is generating all those minions on the board.
Yeah. So we have the Coin Corrupted Elementalist into Dragon's Pack.
Wow. That's pretty good. We got Bandersmosh.
Yeah.
With a coin, we got a lot of flexibility because we can choose if we want to maybe do it on
we don't have a lot of flexibility right now because we're gonna totem. But our opponent's doing some pretty slow stuff.
Totems can be
strong.
It's
okay.
They can be strong. Okay, that's rather good.
Yeah, every time I see a Power Word Shield in a Northside player, I get scared. There's a Shadow.
Oh, I want it!
We're never gonna...
Is there like a freeze?
No, there's no freeze.
Can we add it?
No, Battlegrounds only.
Like a freeze over here maybe, and then we click it for 0 and
we don't want to take
freeze the RNG?
We don't want to take the fun stuff away from Battlegrounds.
Shrobadia.
Storm's Wrath's not very good here.
No,
Tragedia.
We could coin Storm's Wrath.
Oh, we can zap for 3? Awesome.
But we're not going to.
No, we're not. Yeah, we really need something to play. Are there some legendaries that could get a discount? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I wonder if there's something that we
Some
can...
Mountain Giant-esque thing.
Yeah. I think there is. I just can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure there is too, but I can't think of it either. It's probably some like very powerful thing that gets played right now that we can't remember. Chef Nomi, also not as good here.
We have Vecina, and we can overload, but it's the other minions that get buffed, and a 2/6 doesn't seem great against that board. I think I still want to hold out.
Yeah.
I want to hold out. That's not a good card because he's going to draw one out.
Czy nie pokażemy czarnoksiężnika?
If he was successful.
Może już jest pokazany cały. A jak nie jest pokazany, to resztę kart pokażą na, wiesz, fanpage'u i tak dalej.
Do you think Chucky is stream sniping us? I believe he's 3 for 3 on
Absolutely, he's stream sniping us, yeah.
Oh.
He's sitting at his desk.
No jeszcze trochę kart jest niepokazanych. Raz, dwa, trzy, 14 jeszcze jest nie wrzuconych na stronkę.
Stream sniped us and still went 1-3, which is kind of embarrassing, but you know.
Alright.
So we're gonna invoke flash.
Let's do it. Alright. I think we're just
A
gonna...
Warlocka brakuje tylko jednego komona.
do the zap play.
Jeden
That's
komand jest
gonna
niepokazany.
turn too significant
We
play.
really want to be able to play.
Czy grałem coś...
We could get.
Mati? No tak, to
my
grałem.
imagination does not
Jakieś
see
tam
that
areny
far.
chyba 12 wygranych,
Best
8
one.
wygranych.
Yeah, I was doing a
Dwie wygrane?
versus-
Czy nie, to
Caligos,
grałem
right?
dzisiaj. Nie
Because we
wiem.
get...
Oh yeah, Caligos
Free
is
Dragon's Pack.
pretty sick. All right,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get Caligos, and then we'll play Dragon's Pack.
Okay, I'm sure there's one's better than Caligos. I'm sure there's a Reddit
Is
thread
there?
already. Crip was wrong. Caligos is only the 7th best. Thanks, guys.
Caligos is pretty sick. It's gotta be Caligos. It's a 4.
All right, Reddit squad, you're on a mission. What is the best legendary that we can possibly get next turn? It is not this one.
It was Luciana. All right, so probably Dragon's Pack, right? It's
Well-
just they're enormous.
Yeah, they're
We're not gonna do
enormous.
better than Dragon's
We're
Pack,
not
and we
gonna
should
do better.
probably kill the
North,
Korean.
North
A więc mówisz, że 2 wilki, 2-3 z prowokacją
Art, right?
to dużo za 5 many.
It's
A
slightly
co powiesz
different.
o 2 wilkach, 5-6 z prowokacją za 5 many?
Let's kill the North Turn. It gives us a value trade as well, which is very important.
Alright,
Nie mam
next
pytań.
turn, what's the best Banner Smash thing that we could get? Cenarius? Would be pretty sick.
You're assuming that we're going to keep all the cards right now. That is a strong assumption.
I am assuming the best situation here.
Kotwica.
Yeah, whole thought experiment.
Scenarios, there's got to be better stuff than scenarios.
Gdy twój bohater zaatakuje, dobierz pirata z swojej talii.
Vecina.
That's true, actually. But I would
Jestem
want to
starym
start
widzem.
with that,
Ile masz lat?
right?
50? 60? 80? Gdzie
Gdzie
jest turbo odbana rzecz na 100 000 subów, mówisz, że zrobisz? To chyba nie jesteś aż takim starym, skoro jej nie widziałeś.
But Galakron literally grows on the
Yeah, the animation is really good.
on the history.
That is actually pretty insane. I mean, it's not that great in this situation, but like it's pretty insane.
Divine Shield Lifesteal, your healing is doubled.
Yeah, that's, you know, you attack into it and heal for 10, which is pretty good.
I kind of feel like playing it, but I kind of feel like seeing what else we might get.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what else we might get.
Want to see what else we might get?
Yeah.
All right, fine. He has a Spirit of the Dead.
Again, yeah.
I don't think we actually care about that right now.
No.
I think we can deal with that later, perhaps. We can either do the Big Smork or we can do the Corrupt Elementalist. I kind of want to do Vecina because we'll be overloaded for next turn as well.
Yeah, and then that means our Corrupt Elementalist is going to, like, if Vecina lives, we'll have...
Do we want to do Storm's Wrath now or next turn? I think next turn.
Okay.
Now, do it now, baby. Pew damage.
Right, let's just get his health to 0. I believe that's the most effective way to win in Hearthstone.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
By far.
Well, I don't know. Mechathune has a few things to say about that.
Dlaczego mnie nie zaprosili? No bo ja nie mogłem przylecieć do studia. Challenge robię. Jak się nazywa ten telefon, co Mateusz ma? Razer Phone.
Or we can just get Caligos and get Pyroblast.
Nie no, kotwica kreatywna nazwa.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Jak robią kreatywne nazwy, narzekają. Jak robią niekreatywne nazwy, narzekają.
So,
Jubjor.
This is the second form of Galakron.
No Jubjor jest niezły.
The Might Tree.
It's a 5/5.
For the rest
Goru,
of the
the
game,
Might Tree.
have +1/+1. How generous.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think we're just killing some stuff here. Like if our whole that way, then
Jubjor, Jubjor, Jubjor. Kotwicar. To powinien być kotwicar.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Our brush minions are going to be 4 attacks. That's something really good.
Yep. I'm gonna make them again and hit for 5.
Yeah.
I kind of want the value trade here.
Yeah, I think so too. Getting the value trade and having just both 5/2s up, I think is probably.
Do we want him to potentially draw Scale Rider? I think a 1-mana Scale Rider might be better than some of the other cards in his deck in the late game.
Zdelegalizować polski.
Yeah,
Tylko angielski.
Okay, let's do it.
he doesn't make the opposite.
No, I want him to have Scale
Harpun.
Rider rather than...
Nie no, kotwicar powinien być. Kotwicor! O, kotwicor! Kotwicor!
Minions in play, and they all have a bunch of attack, and we're overloaded.
Że nie, to musi być chyba... A, to kotwicar!
And there's a good chance that we lose all of them. Yes. I believe...
Oh
this
my
is the
fucking
Kronk's
fuck!
for Galakron card. If you are already Galakron, you unleash a devastation, which
Oh.
includes that one.
So we draw Galakron, which is good.
Annihilation.
It's not as good here.
No.
We could give it rush and kill that thing. I guess we could kill it with Bat Rider as well.
I kind of like the Bat Rider.
Yeah, Bat Rider, and then we just summon a totem. And the next turn we can just play Galakron.
Oh, you want to just deal with it later?
No, I think that we should kill it this turn.
I was going to kill this turn.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm impressed by your
Here we go.
usage of the mouse. It's actually been pretty clean. There's only that one time where you messed up.
It's just a
everything.
little slow, because we're a bit far from, I think, the computer we're playing on.
Yeah.
The signal's a bit weak.
Yeah, but
that's okay.
I can
I'm managing.
I can
I'm
barely
coping.
tell. Yeah, I feel like you've been
I have used one of these before.
you've been
true.
using mice for a long time now. I feel like.
The majority of my life, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same,
sadly.
same.
Okay. We do have a fully peeked out, invoked Shaman Galakron.
Wow, that's actually insane though. He just grave ruined that, which means it's just gonna death rattle basically forever.
So when this dies, he gets 2 of them.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fair to assume he has a dragon in his hand right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have Varisa Windrunner to get Star's Fury, which is the spell damage weapon.
Yeah, in some circumstances that might be insane, but not really in this one. Yeah, so do you want to totem first?
Yeah, let's totem first.
Should we totem, play Galakron, and then what, just do nothing?
No, I think I'm gonna hit him in the face for 5.
Ej, no daj spokój chłopakom, przecież to nie jest ten super hiperintensywna gra. To jest gra na chillku i oni sobie gadają na chillku. Ziom poziom.
Having a 4/5 that deals 3 damage to your opponents is really insane, but here we can kind of see the downside of...
Actually, why did we totem? We could have Galakron's Fury. I guess either case they're dead. We wanted a taunt totem, that's why we totemed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
That's why.
We're kind
Szybkie
of running
wytłumaczenie.
cards, but
Też
this
tak zawsze
deck
robię, jak
is
popełnię
what we
misplay.
have, and this Galakron theme has, the power level to keep up with an aggressive deck. Falling off against a control deck, I guess, is not much of a surprise.
No, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. I think you're seeing the duality of these different...
Ugh.
There's the fireball and then the invisible crossbow. Yeah, like I said, against a bunch of like tempo mid-range stuff, like I think the Shaman deck's going to be like really good. And then against the more controlling oriented stuff, we're seeing the power of what the Priest Galakron can be like when you just generate.
Mówisz, że to jutro ma zniknąć z gry? Karty, które przenieśli z Wilda do standardu. Enzoty, Ragnarosy, Sylwany i tak dalej.
Okay. Well, I'll just play some stuff. Hope it works out. I could have Mogu down one of them, then used the weapon, then used Geddon.
Oślepię was.
Still wouldn't have been great though. But it'd be alright.
Yeah, I think this would be fine here.
We're fine on the board, but I think we're gonna run out of cards. I was killing Murazan again. Murazan seems quite good.
Yeah. Murazan, especially like in my game scenario. A lot of times it can just be like an 8-8 along with, you know,
Nie najgorszy.
smaller minions or something.
That's a pretty hard card to counterplay too.
Yeah, it is.
Don't have any good turns.
Don't play stuff. Don't do that.
Mama wchodzi do pokoju i pyta, czemu oglądasz człowieka, co ogląda dwóch ludzi, co grają w grę. Nie może sam pokazać.
Chunk's not what we
O Boże, to jest wyższy level. To jest wyższy level dziwnych akcji.
No, it looks like we're dead. Oh my god, I gotta kill Gon.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen.
Really should have went with a lifesteal divine shield.
Thinking
right. Back.
Yeah, in retrospect, that probably was the better thing to do.
And we could have killed the first 5/5.
Yeah, that's okay.
But it does make sense that we give one to Chalky because he's probably feeling pretty sad after these games.
After going 1-3 WoW stream sniping, like I said, that's that really puts him in a rough spot.
Oh, we get 2 full donks. I think that's pretty good.
All right, well,
That's fun. We got to play Galakron.
Yeah, we went 3-2. We got to play some Galakron. We revealed all the cards basically at this point. So
Every single one of them. We
Yes.
did. Chat was asking for a Galakron emote. I was gonna say we should do it, but
we missed the Galakron.
we missed the Galakron emote. But hey, we got the card because
Yeah,
we were like getting to the end of the deck,
Cool.
and we didn't see it. And I was like, please,
Well,
please.
that's a nice defeat screen.
It is.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
You know?
defeated, looking in staring into the eyes of Galakron is. It's not that bad.
Czym się różni?
Is this the true
And
Ripperino?
You get the
Kipperino?
clouds, and he's got the lightning theme. Like
Yeah,
it's
very handsome.
This is the true
very,
Ripperino.
handsome dragon. Very small arms, but handsome. No,
they're
was the
not
first
small.
thing I
It's the rest that's so large.
Oh yeah.
Ah, glass half full. I like it.
Cool.
It's cool. Well, cool. Well, that wraps it up for the gameplay. Crip, before we leave, any last thoughts? Expansion's looking pretty spicy. We got to see some really cool cards. 32, the most we've ever revealed for an expansion reveal stream ever, by the way. But what do you think? Thoughts?
Pretty cool. I mean, I want to play Galakron decks. I want to play more Galakron decks. We actually don't have audio over here. I imagine they heard and saw the full experience, the full dimensional experience of playing Galakron.
Absolutely.
I have not. I need to experience this.
Soon.
Soon? How soon?
Soon, like after the reveal stream soon.
Well, how about that?
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Well, cool. Well, folks at home, so there's a couple
Może
other
w
quick things I
piątek.
really wanted to call out. So, number one, we're actually gonna be doing our theory crafting live streams right after this. We've got a couple streamers that are gonna be going live for a short time to showcase Descent of Dragons in its entirety. Crip will be one of them, playing here from HQ. It's gonna be super cool. He'll finally get to hear those spicy Galakron audio and animation things. It's gonna, you know,
All I'm going to play.
all the things.
Only Galakron
All the
decks.
things. So it's going to be good. Again, remember, that patch drops tomorrow as well. 23 wild cards rotate out. Your decks will need to be readjusted. The Battlegrounds balance changes are also coming in. The fireside gatherings that you can set up, open up your packs with some buddies, set it up at your house, battle it out, meme it up, have some fun, will happen on Friday. And then the patch actually drops Tuesday, December 10th. So lots of stuff coming. It's Hearthstone packed weekend. We hope you're as excited as we are to finish up the Year of the Dragon with Descent of Dragons. And we thank you so much for coming out yet again. We love you all. And thanks so much for hanging out with us. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Griff, co myślisz o nowym dodatku? Super! Nic nie zmienicie w grze od 6 lat, od 6 lat, ale dodatek super. Oh my god. O Jezu! Tak w ogóle była karta Łotra za 1/1 dodaje losową kartę z klasy przeciwnika, a tutaj masz... A tutaj mówi, że ten pirat 1-2 za 1 co daje... Co pirata dodaje OP jest. Tak, zgadza się. Była taka karta, jest ten pirat i mówię, że jest OP. Nie wiem, czy mam coś potwierdzić, czy o co kaman, ale zgadza się to, co napisałeś. Witam, panie grzybie. Grzyb najlepszy jest, a szczególnie w zupie grzybowej. Nie polecam strzelać palcami, bo ci stawy wysiąść. Ale na którym przystanku? No co, no musiałem. Chyba strony trochę overloaded. Brakuje jeszcze 12 kurt. Na 4 od dodatku, to jeszcze trochę. Na tym, gdzie masz reumatologa. Nie, no dobra, Pawle, ale powiedz mi, co się może stać od tego, że strzelam palcami? Tak serio, serio. No wydaje mi się, że do tej stronie się nie zalogujemy. Czy to jest w gównianym...